The other thing, so the San Jose Sharks, so they started the season 0-10-1. That's bad.
Well, but it could be the beginning of a really good comeback story on the way to a Stanley Cup.
They could have been 0-11.
They also could have been 0. It's all about how you think about going 0-10 to start the season.
It could have been bad. Yeah, it could have been even worse. But since that stretch of going 0-10-1, the San Jose Sharks are 8-7-2. So they're not a playoff team, I don't think. Even at that pace all year, I don't think that's playoff pace. But that is, I think, literally infinitely better, basically infinitely better than an 0-10-1 start. And I know I've been watching a little bit of them over the last few days because I'm curious about what the sort of turnaround is there. But it really just seems like a bunch of guys are kind of hitting the ground running now that they've had some time to gel. Like, there's a lot of new names on that team. And I don't think Thomas Hertl is kind of used to being the guy, but he's their leading scorer now. And he's the guy, it seems like, right now for the San Jose Sharks. But the other thing, and I think you and I are people who've been waiting for this, but William Eklund finally starting to find some success.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. In his last 8 games, he's got 7 points. He popped 3 against the Islanders the other day, but he did miss the game yesterday against Vegas. So that's unfortunate. But he is, I think, a major part of sort of the improvements there. The other one, and I put this in there for AJ, the other name that I wanted to bring up was Alexander Barabanov, a former Toronto Maple Leafs superstar and super legend.
So that's why you put him in there. I thought you were going to bring up Anthony Duclair.
Well, him too. He's been very good. Anthony Duclair is just good everywhere he goes. Yes. But Alexander Barabanov has been, I think he's like a 40 or 50 point guy with the San Jose Sharks the last 2 years. And he's per game one of their better scorers on the team. He's only played 10 or 11 games this year. But he has
how many points with Sharks the last few years?
Like something between 40 and 55.
What was he with Toronto?
I don't think he scored a point with Toronto. I think he had like a point or something in like 10 games. And then
AJ confirmed this?
Yeah, he scored a lot of points with the Marlies. I remember that. He came to the Marlies and like shot the lights out. I remember
hearing about him.
But could not earn ice time with the Leafs. And they traded him for... Who did they trade Alexander Barabanov for? I guess...
A glue stick.
Yeah. It may as well have been a glue stick. I mean, it might have been. I don't know who. It could have been someone decent. I don't even know.
Don't know anything that happened.
I don't think it was someone particularly decent. But in any case, just from watching the Sharks a little bit, he's been a big part of that. Just a really sort of guy pushing the pace of the game a little bit for them, which is super helpful. Michael Granlund also is scoring pretty well. Like, he's up at a 70-point pace, which I don't think anybody really expected out of Michael Granlund going into this season. A lot of it is on the power play, and he's not the best defensive player, but that's a guy who's got the dangles, he's got the skill in his game, he's got the fun factor.
When you're a team that started 0-10, a 70-point player, no matter how you get 70 points, is pretty solid. And if they disagree with me, they supported their bad defenseman who scored 100 points last year, and that made him a good defenseman.
Right.
So I have the stat.
Yeah.
So he played 13 games with the Maple Leafs and had 1 assist.
No goals. There it is.
No goals. And then when he went to the Sharks in that same year, in 9 games, he scored 7 points. Last year, 47 points in 68 games.
Okay. So pretty darn. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
With 10 minutes more ice time than he got with Toronto per game.
So what was he traded for? Can you look that up while we cover the next guy on the list?
I will.
What brand was the glue stick?
Elmer's. It was like a good. What's your favorite glue stick brand?
I don't know. I haven't used. I just bought
a tube of P7 from Canadian Tire. That's like adult glue stick.
I was gonna say this guy's an enthusiast.
Yeah, that's because we had a cabinet fall off the wall, and so we have to put it back on the wall, and that's we're going to use construction adhesive, which I've never used, but that stuff is serious.
Use
spit.
Yeah, and just
that's
like
gross.
Rub it on.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's East Hamilton. That's East Hamilton contracting.
That's East Hamilton contracting, baby.
Perfect.
This is what we do.
If anyone else is from Southern Ontario, they'll definitely understand that joke.
I found you. It was traded for.
Okay.
Antti Suomela.
Oh, that's why the comments say Antti-Suomela.
Yep.
Exactly.
The comments been just lighting up with that, and
and I'm searching it up.
one person with multiple, like, and then the last one was all caps, anti.
We appreciate you, Blue
Science. I was a little
Science.
confused why this person really, really likes talking about anti-Suomela.
Thank you for doing the job that, AJ just wasn't fast enough to do.
Sorry, I was
am
too
in my
busy.
30s. Reading is not a thing I do anymore.
I was
you kind of go through like a inverted curve with your reading frequency. You start a lot when you're young, and then I feel like when you're old, you read a lot more. But maybe I'm just
wouldn't
hopeful.
know.
Maybe I'll start reading more when I'm
can't
older.
read.
Sorry for my sluggishness, gentlemen. I was too busy watching John Tavares score .999 against the Islanders.
Oh, congratulations to John Tavares. That's good for him.
If he scores .1000 there, New York will burn.
Nah, they'll still boo him. I think they'll just still boo him and just call it a night.
Yeah, probably. They just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's been too many years.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing, before we move on to another topic, I did also want to give a shout out to Ty Emberson, who is a guy that I never thought would be anything. But he has actually been a very solid defenseman for the San Jose Sharks after the Arizona Coyotes just kind of let him go. I remember watching him in college. I remember watching him for the NTDP. Did not see a ton there with Emberson, but he has been a very, very good defensive player for the San Jose Sharks, all things considered, which is, I don't know, they're giving him a lot of minutes. He's playing like almost 20 minutes a night, which is bizarre, but it seems to be working, at least in his own end. So there's that.